Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. So in today's card making video, we're going to be using our water reactive inks with our stencils to do a fun colour lifting technique. I've got some dye-based inks from Gina Designs and a couple of the Lisa Horton interference ink pads, which are a hybrid ink, so that means they're a mixture of pigment and dye-based ink. I'm going to be using a couple of stencils today from a Colourful Life Designs. So I've got this jigsaw stencil, and I'm also going to be using this flower heart stencil as well, which is quite a large 6x9 stencil. Of course, any water reactive inks that you've got in your stash will work for this. So distress inks, distress oxides, for example, would be brilliant for this, and other water reactive inks that are on the market. But first of all, I'm just going to get a card panel covered in the dye-based ink. So I'm starting off with the Gina Designs Passionate Pink, and I'm just going direct to paper with my ink pad, making sure that I get a nice even coverage of the ink. One thing I love about the Gina Designs inks is that they have a smoothing agent in, so when the ink dries, you're left with a really lovely smooth finish, so they're great for ink blending. So I'm just going to tack my stencil in place with my magnets, and now I'm going to spritz the stencil with water, so I'm just using my distress sprayer. And then we're going to lift off the water with a rag, or you could use kitchen towel, kitchen paper here, and then I'm going to repeat the process until I can see that some of that ink is lifting off. So that's why it's a bit of a colour lift technique, and you can see then when I lifted it up, the stencil pattern is showing underneath and it looks beautiful already. So I'm just going to repeat that a few more times. I am just using Creative Craft Products smooth white cardstock, so I don't want to oversaturate it too much because it isn't great with water if you use a lot, so I am being careful, and it's better to spray a little and then lift it and then repeat the process as necessary. So then what you want to do is come in with another colour of ink. So I'm going to use the sea glass ink here because I know that that turquoise is going to mix with the pink really nicely and create a lovely purple hue. So that's why I'm using the sea glass. Of course, different inks react differently with water. So you might find, for example, if you use distress inks, more of that colour will lift. So you will get more of the turquoise colour from this sea glass rather than a purple colour. So experiment with what you've got, but I think this technique is stunning and I think it just creates a really fun background. I'm going to add a little bit more detail to that card, but I'm just going to pop it aside to dry first of all, and I'm going to show you now how we can get the same look using the Lisa Horton interference inks. So I've just got two of the colours today that I'm using, Galaxy Dream and Mermaid Lagoon. And you can see on the left hand side of the lid what colour the ink is going to be on white cardstock. And again, I'm just going to go direct to paper and get a nice full coverage of that card panel with the ink. The great thing about the interference inks is that you get two different looks. So if I was using this on black card, then I'd get the colour that's on the right hand side of the lid. And they've got this gorgeous shimmer to them, as you can see there in the light. They are absolutely beautiful. The camera's not really doing the shine justice, but I think you get the idea that they are really, really shimmery. So I'm just going to use the jigsaw stencil now, and I'm just tacking that down with my magnets again. Again, I'm spritzing with water, and I'm using the same cardstock. I'm still using the Creative Craft Products smooth white cardstock. I'm just going to use some tissue here as well, just to lift it off because my rag was getting a little bit wet. And also it was a little bit tricky to see how much of the ink I was lifting off with the rag. So I was finding it just a little bit easier to see it better on some white tissue. Again, I'm light-handed with the water and then repeating it as necessary. And then you can see as we remove the stencil, we've got that beautiful pattern. I have got a little bit of bleed in there, but I'm not worried about that because you're not going to notice it when the card's finished. But now I'm going to come in with the lighter coloured ink. Now, you definitely can dry off your cardstock before applying the next colour. And I would recommend doing that if you're able to line your stencil back up, or simply leave it to air dry for a few minutes before coming in with the second ink. And so I'm just adding that ink now all over the stencil. My magnets were getting a little bit in the way, but they do a great job of holding it in place. And you can see there we've got that lovely two-toned pattern. So this is a great way of using multiple colours of ink with your stencils and getting really fun backgrounds. So now that panel is dry, I'm just going to come in and add some details to the centre of the flowers, and I'm using a white acrylic pen. This is an Ohuhu acrylic marker pen. Of course, you might have heard of Posca pens or other similar brands, and it's basically just acrylic paint in a pen form, so it allows you that control to add paint to smaller areas, and this is great for using with your stencils. And of course there's loads of other techniques that you can do with these pens. If you wanted to see a little unboxing and review of these, then I do have another video on my channel, and I also have a reel showing how I've used them with my gel press. I also have a discount code for Ohuhu as well, so if you're interested in any of their products, I'll leave that in the description box below. Don't forget as well, for Colourful Life Designs, if you do decide to shop any of their stencils, use the code LauraFan10 and you'll get a 10% discount from the stencils in the shop. So I've just popped that other card panel to dry again, because obviously we've just added that paint, and I'm just trimming this panel down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches squared. And then I'm going to die cut this thank you sentiment directly from the centre of that card. This thank you die is from Fawn. Again, any products that I've used, I'll leave a link in the description box below if you're interested. So I'm going to die cut that straight out of the middle of that card panel, and as you can see, we want to keep all of the pieces, so don't let any of that die cut bit go into the bin. You need to keep it all for the techniques that we're going to be using today. And of course, I'm sure you've got sentiment dies in your stash, so use a large sentiment that you've already got and try this with a stencil that you've got as well. I'm going to pop a layer of black cardstock behind the card panel, and I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the card panel and also around the background that we've created for all of those little fiddly bits on the sentiment. We need to make sure that they're all nice and stuck down as well. So I'm just using some Barely Arts liquid glue for this, and then I'm going to stick that all down nice and flat to that black matte layer that we've created. So next I'm going to pop the sentiment die back into that opening, but I'm not going to glue it down. But what I want to do is add glue to all of those areas of black that are showing, and then paper piece all of those little bits back into the panel. So you could use a pickup tool or a wax pencil for this, but my cardstock was still a little bit damp, so I was struggling to get my wax pencil to work on it, so I ended up using my fingers for some of it and the wax pencil for some of the smaller bits that were less heavy. So once they're all stuck back in, then what you need to do is carefully remove the sentiment die back out, making sure none of those little pieces start lifting. If you find they're lifting, then use a little pokey tool or a pin just to help them stay in place. And you can see there we've got that lovely sentiment standing out nice and bold in the background that we've created. So I'm just going to finish this card by sticking it onto an A2 side folding card panel that I've created using the Creative Craft Products US sized cardstock. I am going to add a few little matte black flat sequins from Colourful Life Designs, which I'll show you in the close-up photos at the end. But what I really love about this technique is that you get 2 cards in one, basically. So we've still got that thank you sentiment left over, and we're certainly not going to waste it. So I've just brought back in the Jigsaw stencil here, again on an A2 card panel, and I'm just using some leftover ink from that blending brush. So this was the Lisa Horton Interference ink in Mermaid Lagoon, and I'm just adding a subtle bit of ink blending to the top left and the bottom right corner. I'm just going to roughly measure the sentiment just so that I know what width I want to cut a little strip of black cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick that down straight across the centre of the card. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue to that and stick that down. Of course, you don't have to use black if you don't want to, but with the colours that I've used on the sentiment, I really felt that black just made it stand out and pop. I didn't want the sentiment to get lost on the white card background or the stencil bit that we'd created, and black just really kind of helped it to stand out. So I've added some liquid glue to the back of that. I'm just going to hold that in place with my magnets while the glue grabs. And then again, once you'll see the close-up photos at the end, I'll add a few little flat back sequins to that card as well. So for the third card today, I've used the same sentiment die, and I've gone ahead and cut it from the card panel again, straight from the centre. I'd already pre-cut this down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and I'm going to pop out all of the pieces again from the die. And again, you want to keep hold of all of those little pieces. And what we're going to do is we're going to stack up the sentiment with some white layers behind it, and then use that as a topper on the top as well, so that you can still see the whole stencil design, but you've also got a sentiment. Now, I know this technique has got a name and I can't remember what it is. Basically, when you see the finished card, let me know in the comments below what the technique is called. It's basically like a 3D effect, but from the same card panel. So the sentiment makes up part of the pattern background, but it's raised, and so in real life you can actually see it quite well. It doesn't necessarily show brilliantly on camera, but I hope that the close-up photos at the end really show the card and how it looks in real life. But anyway, what I've gone ahead and done here is die cut the sentiment from some white cardstock. I've added lots of liquid glue to the back of all of those pieces, and then I'm sticking it down. Now, what I should have done at this stage is not added all of those little white pieces from the centers of the letters. Unfortunately, it was too late. I've already stuck one down. I ended up sticking all of the rest down, but you really want to make sure all of those little bits are removed, just because it makes the sentiment pop more. So again, I'm just adding some liquid glue to the back of the sentiment, and now I'm going to pop in all of those center pieces. So had I not added those white bits in behind it, they would have been lower down and the sentiment would have stood out more. So to rectify that, I'm just going to add some glossy accents to all of those letters, and that's just going to help the sentiment have a little bit of shine, a little bit of extra dimension, and then hopefully that will make the sentiment stand out a lot more in the finished card. So I really hope that this has given you some inspiration of ways that you can create some really fun backgrounds with supplies that you've already got on hand. This is a great way of extending the use of those inks that you've invested in and creating some really fun backgrounds. As always, all the products that I've used will be linked in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. It really helps me out. And if you'd like to see more from me, then please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.